the one you've been looking for all your life is the one that everyone has been looking for all their lives. Welcome to day 238, Until I'm a YouTube Millionaire. Periodic reminder that the title of this video series is simply a joke. I don't expect to ever become a YouTube millionaire. I simply have it there to get people's attention and to be a little whimsical. I was listening to a couple videos by a woman on YouTube that I've periodically listened to every once in a while because she talks about the Bible and all that. She's a faithful, I believe, Catholic Christian. And she's 38 years old. And she's been waiting her whole life to find the perfect man to whom to get married. And I have a lot to say on this. The first one is, our idea of falling in love has been so horribly corrupted by Hollywood. We're led to believe that it's something that's supposed to be a sweeping off of your feet. Something that makes your heart explode with feelings that you've never had before, that you're perpetually swimming in bliss and joy and euphoria. And we're led to believe that this will never wear off, that it will last for your entire life. In reality, and this is coming from a virgin who just recently got into my first relationship ever with my girlfriend Sonia. In reality, that's not the way it works. The emotional euphoria, the chemical reactions occurring in your brain, all that stuff, especially when your significant other ages and becomes less physically attractive, will fade away. It's just the way it is. It's going to. That feeling, the physical attractiveness, is meant to simply be a lure, a hook, to pull you in, a first impression. That's all it is. What you do with those individuals after the fact, 5 years from then, 10 years from then, 15, 20, 30, whatever years from then, you raise a family, you have children, you build a life together. The romance, the head over heels, falling in love, silliness, generally speaking, is not a real thing. Or if it is, it's very temporary. You love somebody for who they are deep inside. Their hearts, their minds, their souls. And if you have found that right person that is aligned with you in those ways, it's not physical attractiveness, at least not solely, but is everything else in addition. Who's to say that everybody else isn't also seeking that very same thing? Because I guarantee you that if they want a romantic connection, they are seeking that same thing. It's so frustrating because Jesus tells us that if you have even thought of amorous activity with somebody who isn't your wife or husband, then you have already committed adultery He was not telling these people that they were condemned to hell that did this, because we all do it. He was saying that his grace was sufficient. I have family members who have been with probably on the order of 250 women. I won't say who they are, but they know who they are. When you become of one flesh, you are married to one another. Period. End of story. You are of one flesh. Your souls are intrinsically and eternally connected. He is married to every single one of those women with whom he's been. Who's to say that this isn't precisely how King Solomon did it in the Bible? I would submit to you it's probably pretty close to what he did. Because there's simply no way that you can spend all of your time and energy with all of those 700 women in your concubine or whatever it is, and deeply get to know them and have a rich life with them. And yet we live in this free love world where everybody is having sex with everybody. In heaven, there is no marriage, nor is there any giving in marriage, because we are all married to one another. We are all with God. Marriage is simply a worldly thing. We don't need it after this. Exceptions make the rule, and rules make the exception. Women need protection in order to get to heaven. We work together to get there. Now, there are bridges in this as well. The Dunbar number, which is about 150 to 300 people, depending on how smart you are, is the number of people that you can know on a personal level in your life. If it goes beyond 300 or what have you, then you cannot know the rest of those people personally. It's just too many people to know. The bridge is perhaps that's where your romantic connections can be. What is love anyway? So the sexual bond is only one thing. But the life that you build with the other individual is eternal. You're building with them. I would submit to you that generally speaking, this is the way our business transactions work. And I'm not saying sex and romance are business transactions. What I'm saying is that our relationships with our business partners are us building with them. Okay? We are doing everything else aside from the romantic connection, aside from the marriage. And sometimes that still does happen. It is heartbreaking to me that someone, I'm not going to say who she is because she knows who she is and I don't want to put a target on her or anything. Someone as beautiful, intelligent, and faithful as you has never found anybody. You're 38. Your clock is ticking, baby. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Do you really think that God would condemn all of the kings of the Bible to hell for doing what they did? Every single one of them. Every single one. being married to multiple wives. I'm not saying this is right. It's not. You look at Andrew Tate, I don't like what he's doing. But what I will say is when his women were questioned on it, they all said they were happy. They all said they liked the situation in which they found themselves. And it has also been said by many a source that women would prefer to share a high-value man than have a low-value one all to themselves. High-value women are going to want a high-value man. And high-value women are those intelligent, strong, industrious, faithful, familial. Basically those things that you, as well as many other women on here, are. My girlfriend, she's that way. She is one of those exceptions of exceptions. She's one in a million. Desperate times call for desperate measures. I saw you tearing up in that video. Figure something out. You don't have much time left. If we don't do something now, we will fall into the rat utopia trap, where the beautiful women are making themselves more and more beautiful and won't be with anybody because they're waiting for the 11 out of 10. When that 11 out of 10, if you're waiting for them, every woman's going to want them. And if you found a man that's an 11 out of 10, if you, in your perception, whatever, that's willing to be unconventional so that you can not be alone and get what you want, you just have to accept that there are many more that would also get that. So, it doesn't mean that they don't love you. It doesn't mean that they don't love you entirely, and all of you. It simply means that you're not the only one. That's all. That's literally it. And when they're with you, they are with you. So, if you come by my videos and end up watching this, you might. I don't know if you have already. You might. You're in a desperate situation here, lady. You are. You need to do something. Because I know you want a husband. I know you want a family. And maybe that 11 out of 10 or 10 out of 10, whatever you're looking for, whoever's in first is the matriarch, and they get first decision. Perhaps. They are first in. Get first decision. They decide, is this okay? Is this not okay? And the husband will talk to the woman and say, what do you think? I don't want this woman to be alone. I want her to be protected and safe. You get to make the decision. Is this all right? I'm just spitballing here, guys. We live in 2025. This is a different time. It is a different time. And we're at that time where time is very nearly to the point where it's going to end. And when it does, there will be no separation between our minds and our hearts. We will be in eternity, which is heaven. When we get there, there will be no hiding whether you're attracted to somebody or not. And as Jesus said, if you even think of adulterous relations with somebody else, you've already committed adultery. Not to condemn us, but to say that His grace is sufficient. He cannot give you permission, but He can give you grace. Exceptions make the rule, and rules make the exception. And both of those are meant to bridge us to the next life, the next world. If we truly are in the end times, as I believe, and many, many other people do, this is the time where we need to bridge that, right now. And you might not like it. I don't either. But it's what has to happen. This is coming from a guy who, before I was quote-unquote corrupted, if you will, by my religious teachings when I was in Dayton, Ohio. I don't think I was corrupted. I think this was the idea, the bridge. I was extremely, extremely, extremely traditional. I was disgusted by the idea of multiple relationships, of polyamory, polygamy, and all this other stuff. I was disgusted by it. I still don't like it. But if God wants me to do that, and remember, He cannot want you to do a sin, but He can imply. If He wants me to do that, then that's what I'm going to do. You should have seen how I reacted when I was in Ohio and I finally picked up what they were trying to get me to do, the full brunt of it. I exploded in anger. And I never get angry, ever. I was furious that I was put into a situation where the only way I was going to be allowed to have a romantic connection was if it were with multiple people. And I will tell you this, I know for certain that if people don't accept the exceptions that I'm trying to promote, I've already broken hearts. I know that I have. I've seen them cry on live video, not live, but recorded video, or try to hold back tears. And I knew what it was. I knew who they were. I'm not going to say it, but I know. I said no more pain. I meant no more pain. If you're with me, you are entirely with me. I love every part of you. Period. End of story. That is not going to change. Ever. But we live in a different world now. We do. And this is what has constantly made us loop back into the paradigm of being stuck on earth and not getting to heaven. These very tough questions to broach that require us to rethink what we even are as human beings, what our genetic predispositions are. Remember, in the very beginnings of the Bible, it was even said that marriage wasn't necessarily something that God wanted. But He said, if you need to give to one another of one flesh, then so be it, one woman, one man. It's simply because we required it. We needed it. So He did for us what we needed. He does for us what we need. As I said, I still don't like this. But I also want children. I also want all pain to stop. But know that whatever feelings you have, whatever revulsion you have towards this, I think one of the biggest things that happened to me in Dayton, Ohio, when my spiritual teachers nudged me into this, was to get me to truly empathize with how difficult it would be for you to accept this. It is. And remember, Again, coming from a very traditional guy, coming from a guy who fully accepts that I do not know better than my ancestors. I'm a fucking idiot, okay? This guy right here is a fucking idiot. But I'm trying. This world is evil and retarded. Forgive me, Father, for I am a sinner and retarded. I don't know what this is, because I have to live in an ephemeral manner, just like you guys. And this woman I'm talking about, I saw you tearing up in that video. The same thing that happened to you happened to another woman, and I won't say her name either, that I was trying to get to ask me out a while back. It made me very sad. I did tell her, though, that you have to ask me out. If you don't, if somebody else does, I'm going to say yes. Because I'm 36 years old, I cannot waste any more time. I might not have the same biological clock as women, but I do have a physical clock, and I want to be able to play with my children when I have them, spend time with them. Maybe if my legs get better, even go do some walking, running, playing basketball with them when they get a little older. And I want a metric shit ton of kids. And what do you do with a champion? Which I am a champion. I will fully say this. You can call it egotistical if you want. Fuck it. Do it live. I am a champion. I am an Air Force veteran, captain, a commercial pilot. I have a master's in electrical engineering. I've run 18 marathons. I'm not ugly. 6'1", 220 pounds, 15% body fat. I am a champion. I am. And what do you do with a champion? You breed the fuck out of them. You might not like it, but there you go. And one way or another, I am saying no more pain. When I say no more pain, I mean no more pain. I've experienced it all. The only way I got through it was because God was there with me every step of the way. I don't know why He led me down this path of these desires or these inclinations, things I don't want, but I'm willing to do for Him. But I can postulate, as I have in this video. This is going to be a really tough one for a lot of people. And just grapple with this with me, okay? I'm not asking any one of you to accept it. I'm asking you to help me grapple with it. Because maybe my mind has been totally corrupted and I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. That could very well be what it is. But these people that tried to guide me into this are genuinely good people. I know they are. They weren't trying to screw with me. Yeah. I want you to be happy. You're 38. You don't have any more time. And yeah, you're Asian, so, you have a longer biological window. Asian women tend to not go through menopause until much later. I'm just being completely blunt with you. But still. When I say I love you all, I mean it. I'm going to say that at the end of every video. I love you all.